my life's, something for real. Like, I am waiting for the Netflix series because this is better than a fucking telenovela. But I was reflecting this morning and I had a huge epiphany, which kind of has come to me in the last few days. But for those that, haven't known me for very long, in 2018, I hit rock bottom like never before. Like, this whole pandemic and shit didn't do shit to me because I had already been through worse. So, like, while everybody was having meltdowns during 2020 because of quarantine, I was chilling. So in 2018, I went through a lot of shit, and I traveled for 2 months, and I started to remember a lot of my childhood traumas, and I had a lot of traumas that occurred during that time. And then I came back, and my job of 5 years closed, so I was broke as shit. Like, when I was applying to the job that I just quit a month ago, I didn't have a fucking phone because I couldn't afford phone service. That's how broke I was. So yeah, I've been through it. It's not my first rodeo. So from that experience, it changed me so much because it broke me so much. And then the last few years from that, I rebuilt my whole identity and my whole life and everything. And so right now, it was kind of like part two. But it's so interesting to me because obviously 4 years have passed, and in these 4 years, so much growth has happened internally within me to the point where, shit can happen in my life and I can process it, I can sit with it, but it doesn't break me. I always tell people that my life is like the book of Job. I'm really spiritual, but I'm also kind of religious. I mean, there's a time and a place for it all, But basically, in the book of Job, Job was like a really good person. I forgot what the term is. And so the devil was like telling God, like, oh, watch, if you take all his shit away, he's not gonna keep like being faithful to you. So God took away, his family, his properties, his health, like basically everything. And Job remained faithful to his faith in God. And then at the end, God gave him everything he had and more. And so that's literally, in a nutshell, my life. I go through these cycles of death and rebirth all the time. So in 2018, it was like this huge death, and everything in my life, my job, my identity, everything like completely shifted. And this is kind of what happened again this time around. Like, I finally thought I was in a place in my life where I was like, cool, I finally get to be happy. I get to move states. I get to, move on with my life. And then it was super exciting and I was so happy. And then boom, it got fucking stripped out of my hands, like from one moment to another. And so I really had to take time to sit down and process it. But then I realized, like, where have I seen this before? Oh yeah, it happened in 2018. And of course, my awareness now is a lot different than it was back then. Back then, I was a fucking mess. I was mad at the world. I didn't understand why all of it had happened, and I felt so hopeless. And now it can happen to me, and I feel all this hope and excitement for what's coming because I know that, my life broke and everything, but it's because I'm rebuilding myself again. This new person is emerging. And so I just want to remind you that if you're going through a stage in your life where you feel like everything that could possibly go wrong has gone wrong, como dice mi mamá, no más falta que te vea un pinche perro, just know that even though it feels like the end of the world, it's not. It's just the end of the old version of you. The end of a life that's no longer in alignment with you. And I always say this to people, and I feel like it's been coming up a lot. But you have to lose yourself to find yourself. And I say this all the fucking time to people because they don't understand. If you're constantly the same person and you're not really evolving, you're always just doing the same thing, like going to your 9 to 5, being the same person, you're not going to have these periods of confusion because it's like very cookie cutter, straightforward life. It's just kind of like you're sleepwalking through life and it's the same shit over and over and over. But if you're the type of person that goes through these amazing, like, transformational periods, shit's gonna break away. Shit's gonna break you. Things are gonna break away, and you're gonna feel lost, and you're gonna have these moments of like, who am I and what the fuck am I doing with my life? That's actually a good thing because it means that you're actually letting go of your past identity and persona, your past like goals and stuff, and you're rebuilding again. And I know it literally, when it's happening, you're just like, what the fuck? But then you rebuild yourself again, and then you look back and you're like, shit, it had to go all to shit. So I would, look inside and reemerge. And so I always tell people that I literally always feel like I'm a phoenix. Like, literally life just fucking punches me in the face and I fall and I come back up and I'm like, you punch like a bitch, because I rise from the fucking ashes every time. And so for me to just sit here and be depressed and suffer for what has happened is a waste of my time and energy, because there's an abundance of possibilities that can emerge from this situation. And when we get so fixated and attached to one outcome, one path, we're causing ourselves unnecessary suffering, because instead you could be like, okay, that didn't work out, this shit broke away, that happened, but there's an abundance of unlimited possibilities of what can happen in my life. And you have to remind yourself that you are the one creating your future. So don't be anxious about what the future holds, because you have the power to form your future. It's not going to just randomly happen. You can decide when life breaks you or tries to break you. If you're going to resort to old coping mechanisms, it could be really easy for me to just fucking go drink, party, go hoe around and do all this shit that I used to do back in the day that didn't really fucking amount to anything. Or I can be like, okay, I'm going to sit here, feel my shit, and I'm going to process what's happened, and then I'm going to accept it and move on, and I'm going to be the one that's empowered to take all these necessary steps to build a life that's even better than the one that I had before. Empower yourself, Stop giving your power away to other people's situations and outcomes, because you are the one that is directing the course of your life. And also a reminder that life happens for you, not to you. Sometimes shit happens in our life and we want to be a victim and be like, what the fuck, man? Like, why is this happening to me? And, I did have those moments in the last few weeks, valid. But then I had to, take myself out of that mentality and ask myself, okay, what is this trying to teach me? And yes, the last the last 5 months I've been fucking hell and back, forward, backwards, cartwheels, mentally, spiritually, I don't even know. But the fucking lessons that I have learned and the growth that has occurred are fucking mind-boggling. Like, I know a lot of people are always like, Selena, how the fuck do you do it? Like, you're experiencing all this shit in your life and then you're like, you bounce back. And it's not that I'm in denial or that I'm suppressing. I got to the point where I feel my shit. And obviously I had a month of no work to fill my cup and go deep inside. People are going to question it, but this is who I am. Obviously, the longer you work on yourself, the quicker things happen. And I'm really learning to master my mind above all else. Your mind is a muscle. And yeah, I'm getting back on working out. I used to do a lot of heavy lifting and shit back in the day before I got sick. But mentally, bro, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for how strong I am mentally, because shit in my life just, it's like curveball that way, but, it's taught me so much, and warriors are built in the battlefield, not staying at home. So I'm continually growing and becoming stronger and all this stuff because I am learning from all the experiences that happened for me. And at the end of the day, I'm grateful every morning that I wake up and I get to decide what my future is going to look like, and I get to continue and grow and love the people that I love and all that stuff. And that's truly a blessing, and life continues to humble me with all the shit that's thrown my way. And I guess this kind of turned into a ramble, but that's kind of what I needed to say. Life is what you make it, and it's all about perspective. And sometimes you just need to sit with it and then take a step back and then see the bigger picture. Because when it's happening, you're in there and you're so attached to the emotions that they drain you. You know, you become consumed. But, you know, the further I go along in my spiritual path, I have this bigger macro level of awareness where it's like, okay, this moment in time is just a moment in time. In the big scheme of my life path and my purpose, what is it trying to teach me? And when it's happening, it's hard to really come to the conclusions, but eventually you will reach a point where you can look back and be like, huh, wow, everything had to happen exactly as it happened to get to where I am now. And yeah, I don't know if this made a lot of sense, but you know, I was in the middle of making breakfast. But when the inspiration comes, I like to share. But yeah, life is great, can't complain. And I just know that somebody out there needed to hear this, that no matter what you're going through right now, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna live, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna love, and you're gonna reach a destination in your life that's so miraculous that you could never ever picture that it would be possible for you. But it will be, because you haven't given up. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.